Okay, Reggie, did you see the interview that James did recently on the Holding Court podcast on YouTube? Did you get a look at that?
I did.
Okay.
What's the name of the podcast?
Holding Court.
Holding Court.
Yep.
I like that dude.
Yeah.
Big Court. Man, that nigga works out like his workout program we do. He got his body right. I guess I'm gay now. All right. Go ahead. But anyway. But yeah, I like that dude. I don't know his affiliation. I always thought he had something to do with Master P and No Limit or anything.
I think
Gotta research that.
Okay.
I know he has, I believe, Snoop on one of his interviews or something, but something about him or the dude that worked for Master P.
Yeah, he definitely had Master P, and then he had Master P's kind of side guy. I can't remember his name offhand, but yes.
So I did check out the interview, and like I said, I like that dude. And so I said that because I want to play this clip.
Reggie had Reggie Wright Jr.
Right.
in that ass.
That wasn't
doing
happen.
this.
Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen.
His cousins became from the hood.
Yeah.
Were from the hood.
Yeah.
But Pops wouldn't let Reggie do that.
Man, but you know what? Reggie, I don't know Reggie. I've never met Reggie, but Reggie he's probably one of these few people that has walked a line that few motherfuckers have walked. You know what I mean? To be able to, I mean, he's an interesting hybrid because he's from the hood and he's been around, you know what I'm saying, gangbangers his whole life.
Both ways.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He could have went both ways, but in some respect, I think sometimes maybe that line was blurred too. You know what I'm saying?
It gets blurred when I didn't intend to be a police officer. I didn't want to be a police officer.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a choice.
Right.
But sitting there looking out the window, watching all these fools walk by, banging and, got their guns, and you hear the shot. I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
But you look at your mom and daddy,
right?
I can't.
Yeah.
Like Suge. He couldn't be a part of it as bad as he wanted to be. And then now they growed up, now I got an opportunity.
Yeah, they can make their decisions. Yeah.
So this where they come in.
Yeah.
But it's too late for a grown ass man to get in this type of game.
Real shit.
You know what I'm saying? You can't make it like that.
Right.
So you got two choices. You can come in from the back door, or you can come from around the corner. Suge came in from around the corner and then jumped through the back door because he had money.
Right.
And everybody, fuck respect, money was his way because ain't nobody got no job in this motherfucker.
Right.
Now you want to give up $700 a week so I can just hit him on money? Come on, give him my money.
Yeah.
So he in automatic. You know what I'm saying? No questions asked, no nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now that Reggie retired from the police station, now he's getting to live his dream. I'm up here with all the homies, these bloods, we woo-woo.
Yeah.
We touching motherfuckers.
Yeah.
It made him feel good about himself.
Right.
So y'all heard that clip of my boy James. Woo! I know this gonna get that nigga calling me, but he got a broken arm right now, so he can't beat me up. Let me see. Let me make sure my arm, my finger. Yeah, it still works. All right. James, that's what guys' opinions that are gang members are. That they glorify what they are. Tell y'all about that all the time. Scripps does it, Farouz does it. I can honestly say in my life, I had never wanted to be a gang member. I think I got a little gangster in me, but not a gang member. A lot of guys take it because, and it could be. I love my dad to death. I was like my best friend growing up, to be honest. And more of a father figure, was more like a brother. Me and him were only 19 years apart in age. And my mother 17 years apart. So I have relatively and blessed to have young parents that are in good health. And so a lot of gang members always say because they didn't have fathers or two-parent structure that's the reason that they became a gang member. Possibly. I know a lot of gang members that had parents that came from a family structure that, unfortunately decided to be gang members. I have never wanted to be a gang member, so I don't know where James come off on that. Suge, well, I'll address Suge later because I understand why he started affiliating himself to being a gang member, and I'll get into that in my second part of the question or the comment. But where I grew up, the age, and I grew up in the 80s. So when I grew up, you had three categories of males that grew up in the area that I grew up in. And I'm talking about LA County area, mainly Compton and Watts. You had your guys that were geeks, pretty much what most of you motherfuckers would be considered. That's not all of y'all, but a good percentage of y'all. They'd be talking reckless in the comment section. Then you had your gang members. And then you had your athletes. And maybe a fourth one, just guys that were just generally smart. And pretty much are most of our bosses and stuff now. So I guess that would be four. But you had those type of guys. And they all dealt with each other. Didn't have too many guys that were athletes that would take off their gear and start having a red rag or a blue rag up under it. You eventually had that in the 90s and stuff like that, but not when I was growing up in the 80s. And so I'm saying all that to say everybody kind of hung in their own corner. So James was speaking off from his perspective, a gang member perspective, by saying that we were looking out the window, and I'm paraphrasing, not saying word for word what he's saying, wanting to always be like that. Not true. I always grew up wanting to be a cop. Actually, an attorney, to be honest. But my career got stopped with law enforcement. And then on to music. And did pretty well for myself, I think. So yeah, I pretty much always wanted to be an attorney, was my lifelong goal. Didn't happen, but I think I did okay. So now, with Suge, on the part about Suge wanting to be a gang member. I grew up with Suge. I've been knowing Suge since he was in the 3rd grade, I was in the 2nd grade. Might have been 3rd grade, 4th grade, I don't know. Suge was always the dude that had 2 parents. He was pretty good in baseball. Remember him playing for the A's in baseball at Kelly Park. I remember Suge playing Pop Warner football. I remember Suge also riding motorcycles. And this is a fun fact that most of y'all don't know about Suge. Suge was an acrobat. Suge is the type of dude that did flips. And shit, I remember in the 2000s seeing Suge doing backflips, standing up, 300-something pounds. Put that on everything. With a phone in his pocket and his jewelry and everything still on him. And this saying, Reg here, hold this cigar, and did a backflip. So this is how athletic Suge was. Suge is an actor. Suge has never wanted, I don't think, in my opinion, to be a gang member, but that's what he was brought up and was around, and he eventually started associating or affiliating himself with those type of dudes, and that's why he gets the bag or the jacket of being a fake gangster or a wannabe gangster and all that. But one thing I can say, and I will always say about Suge Knight, that nigga always been a fighter and a bullier and not intimidated by anybody. And I give that to that nigga had 2 other cousins that was just as crazy as him, that were a year older or 2 older than him. Actually 2 years older than him. Ronald and Donald Knight. And those 3 together at one point were terrorists. You know, James and all of them always tried to take credit, and Biggie and all my boys, as being Suge's first muscles in security. Not factual at all. Y'all need to research this guy named Big West, who's no longer with us, Ronald Donald Knight, Ron Brown, and this dude that got indicted for trying to kill a judge that was the next Rams football player named Daryl Henley. Those were the first guys that was hanging around Suge in the Al Heyman days and pushing up and running around doing stuff. Not the red car. Even some dudes from the West Side, mainly before the mob dudes came around, that had Suge back a little deeper. Say all this to say, James, it was inaccurate by saying Reggie or Suge ever wanted to be gang members. But when you walk the same pavement as people that was in the drug gang, that was gang members, if you walk like a duck, quack like a duck, you're a duck, I guess they say. And that's all that I think Suge and myself would be considered. But mainly so much Suge. Y'all don't give me that much credit. Y'all think I was walking around Compton in a police uniform wearing a motherfucking G-string, is what you motherfuckers believe. But if you only know, if you only know.